Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions, and in this video, we're going to be talking about how to still make money within the stock market when the market is pulling back or crashing, whatever it is that you guys want to call it. Again, I have received so many messages of how I've been able to consistently stay green when the market was pulling back. I actually had like one of my most successful months trading when overall, like NASDAQ and the S&P 500 were all pulling back. And I want to give you guys certain examples of how it is that I do it. Again, this isn't how you have to specifically approach the market. It's just an example. But I really hope that I can at least kind of plant the seed and put it into perspective that when the market is selling off, there's a lot of companies that follow, but there's also a lot of stocks in the series of ETFs that don't necessarily follow the market crash. And if the market is selling off, there's a series of ETFs that actually do extremely well during that market sell-off. So this is exactly what this video is going to cover. I hope I earn your thumbs up, and be sure to stay tuned to the very end of the video. Hope you guys enjoy. So again, for those that are not familiar with who it is that I am, my name is Ricky. I run the largest YouTube channel. We have over 472,000 subscribers, and we run the largest Facebook group for those who invest in the stock market, a little bit over 184,000 members. If you want to stay connected for free, be sure to click that first link in the description and join our free Facebook group. So to put into perspective, just to give you guys the first example, when the market is usually pulling back, the three major markets, as in the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and NASDAQ, usually sell off as well. This really began to happen right around like the later months of 2018. And we could see this as, we could follow /NQ. So /NQ is a, if I'm not mistaken, NASDAQ future. And we could see that the NASDAQ future was doing extremely well. It was showing signs of an uptrend. It was staying, the overall pattern was staying above this SMA line. It was showing signs of an uptrend pattern. Great, kind of just like NASDAQ, just the S&P 500, and just like the Dow Jones. But guess what happened? When the market began to pull back, it broke below the SMA line, and the overall pattern followed as well. What used to act as a support level, which is the SMA line, which is the green line that I explained to you, was now acting as a resistance. I want to give you certain examples where it got rejected around the SMA line. Again, they're just ranges, right? They got rejected around the SMA line. This time when it pushed up above around like November, December, it did break above the SMA line, but did not hold for a very long period of time. It sold off, got rejected, it pushed up again, and then guess what? Got rejected, sold off very aggressively. So why am I talking about this? Why is it important to know, if this follows NASDAQ or the S&P 500, why do I care about trading something that's following that sell-off? That's not necessarily the case. There's a series of ETFs, and again, this is just something that I want to share with you guys, that when these series of markets sell off, as in like NASDAQ, just let me give you the NASDAQ example. As NASDAQ was selling off, I'm going to go to the Flex Grid. So we can go here and go to, SQQQ, right? A lot of you guys are very familiar with this, and we're going to go on the 180-day, and we're going to add the SMA line. So I'm actually going to go to Edit Studies. We're going to click Add Studies, or Edit Studies here, and just go ahead and it's simple moving average. So we're going to add that very quickly. Okay, did not add it. Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to add the simple moving average. Here we go. And then we're just gonna change this to a length of, my preference is 180. Here we go. Boom, boom. And well, now it's, what's it called? Blue. But as you guys can see, if you guys were to follow TQQQ, which is the one that actually follows NASDAQ, right? This ETF follows /NQ, which then follows NASDAQ. So when NASDAQ in the market was doing well, then TQs follows. But because the market was selling off, then TQs sells off as well. Now SQs, so SQQQ, does the exact opposite. This pushes up, so they're almost like exact mirror images of one another. If you guys could kind of see like the consolidation at resistance, this was at support. Peaked out, this one bottomed out. Same thing when it comes down to here. Pushed up exponentially, drop down exponentially. And then now what I want to talk about is where we're at right now. Why is this important? SQs and TQs follow /NQ, which then follow NASDAQ. If you want to follow something like S&P 500, if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be something like SPY. And then on top of that, it's like TVIX. And again, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that these are the ones that follow the S&P 500. TVIX is the inverse ETN, right? So this one does well when the S&P 500 pulls back. and SPY does well when S&P 500 does well. Pretty easy to follow, right? So you don't have to be trading those major markets. You could be trading the series of ETFs and ETNs. The really cool thing about this is that regardless of which ones you end up choosing, the pairs of SPI and TVIX or SQs and TQs, what I want to ask you is the general idea of understanding patterns and directions. When looking at SPY, I don't care which example we use. We could use SPY or we could use SQs or TQs, right? So right now, as the market continues to sell off, a question comes about. Hey, is the market going to continue to sell off, or is the market going to fully recover? This is a question that you're going to want to ask yourself, and not just ask yourself and come up with an answer, but have some reasoning behind it. Certain maybe news that you are reading, and then watching the patterns and seeing them actually follow whatever that news and how that drove as a positive catalyst for that price action. Now, one thing that I do want to point out is on TQs, right? As the market has been selling off, it's been getting rejected around this SMA line. I think that's very obvious to understand. Based off previous patterns, yes, it does push up to the SMA line, but it's more at an overbought territory, like not a good deal, and more at a resistance, and it's more bound to get rejected. It doesn't mean that it has to get rejected. This thing can 100% shoot up and continue to uptrend. All I'm saying is that based off previous patterns and the directions that it's been showing signs of a continuous downward pattern. I think that's very easy to see for the average trader. And the reason that that is so important is I have my series of alerts set up. So this one's following NASDAQ, right? I'm going to go back to SQs. And the reason that I'm talking about this is that I've identified previous, in a sense, resistance levels, previous support levels, and I set my series of alerts for the break above 15, 16, and 17. I want to give it time. I want to get that true confirmation that the market will continue to sell off, then in which SQs will excel and continue to uptrend. A very common question that I've been getting is, what am I looking for as a swing trade? One thing that I would consider as a swing trade, once I get the overall confirmation that we're back above the SMA line and we're back above making higher highs just like we've done before, right? Is looking at previous patterns. What did it do before, and what is it that we need this to do as well to confirm that this could be a solid swing trade? You can first become more familiar with the pattern. Obviously, wait for the overall confirmation that SQs is going to recover and not continue to sell off. But the really important part about this is that regardless of which side it ends up going or not, regardless of my opinion or regardless of yours, as long as you're someone that's open-minded and that does not pick a side based on your own emotions or hope, but that all you do is wait for confirmation, is that you can be in a position where you can make money regardless of what happens because you understand what is going on. And again, this is just an example if you solely want to follow a series of ETFs that follow overall major markets, but I can give you another example today. Today, the market did pretty well actually for, if I'm not mistaken, SQs and /NQ, right? But today I made $1,200. So I was actually red. If you guys didn't check out that video that I made earlier today, my first red day, I started 5 hours ago in the red, right? I opened my day green. So I trade live with the Learn Plan Profit group every single morning. I started the day green, up $430 within 24 minutes. I took another position, ended up having to cut my losses at $232 overall on the day. Ended up trading a little bit more, and on UGAS and DGAS, which are natural gas ETFs, was able to clear $1,200 profit, a little bit over $1,200 profit. And again, this has nothing to do with, or nor is it affected by overall markets, but I'm yet still able to make money when the market is either selling off or pushing up. It has no correlation to it, and that's the beautiful thing about this. If you're having trouble staying green because the markets continue to sell off, then find other options and explore it with paper trading. You can explore all this and become more familiar with these patterns, and if it begins to make sense to you and you can continuously grow your account with fake money, then guess what? Maybe at one point you can make that fluid transition from fake money to real money, but it's only when you have that confidence and that general understanding of how to actually take advantage of these opportunities. I stopped trading, so I'll show you this on the day. So 1 day, 1 minute chart, I'll show you my overall P&L. So I made $982 on ticker symbol DGAS, and then on ticker symbol UGAS, I made $239. UGAS today was actually one that was selling off. So all I really focused on when I was trading UGAS was when it sold off very aggressively, that it offered big pockets, and then I would lock in profits right away with smaller position sizes. Because I saw the direction for DGAS, that it was showing more signs of an uptrend, which was actually different because DGAS sold off, I think it sold off 34% yesterday. It pushed up today 5%. Obviously, I did not make like 5% growth today. My average position size today was about $25,000, and then I ended the day at $1,200 profit. But the really cool thing about this was that my entry point didn't necessarily have to be the best. I just really focused on making sure that I was always trading in between the middle and top VWAP, and that I understood a general price point, which is around $69 for me, that I identified that was a good area to sell. Yes, it could push up to $70. Yes, it could push up to $80, but I understood based off previous patterns that was a general area of where resistance was at, and I would try to focus on getting a good deal while we're still above the EMA line and showing signs of an uptrend. Still staying true to like my like core criteria of investing in patterns that are showing signs of growth, making sure that the opportunity cost is worth it, and making sure that I understand the patterns. Again, super simple best practices that can assist you once you refine them and you practice them and work well with you to actually make money. So again, $1,200 on the day. Went from being down in that video, I think I was down like $200 or $300. Actually, at the end of the video, I was actually green, but by the time I created my thumbnail and stuff like that, I was red. So ended up not closing the day in the red, made $1,200 profit on the day, and super pleased with what I was able to do. I kind of want to see what your guys' comments have to say before I close out the video. I also want to give a huge shout out. I know a lot of you guys for 2019 are exploring a bunch of different options on how to make money. I would personally suggest, if you're someone that's intrigued about the stock market, there's a huge learning curve. You have to understand that 90% of people fail when investing in the market. What is it that you're going to do to not become that 90%? Learn first what it takes to be successful. Learn how to manage your risk. Refine all these like best practices that the average trader lacks in the most. It's not like any secret strategy or anything like that. It just means that you have to practice before you actually invest real money. And again, it's the simple things in life that are very difficult for the masses. I would really encourage you to, kickstart 2019 if you're interested, to start paper trading. You can search up paper trading on YouTube. You can search up paper trading on Google and learn how to get started, or simulation trading, whatever works best for you. But I do want to let you know that Weston and Caleb have been absolutely killing it when it comes down to the market of investing in cars. You guys have seen multiple videos of mine where I've had my McLaren, or I've had a GTR, and I still make money after enjoying them for a couple of months. If you guys want to learn how to do this with budget cars as low as $1,000, I would really encourage you to, again, they're on the right hand side of my channel. It's called TechBuds Team. Caleb and Weston just uploaded a video of how much money you need to get started, and Caleb is uploading a video later today about how to get started with $1,000. But I want to answer some open-ended questions that you guys might have, and then I'll close out the video then. So if you have your emotions in check, Ricky's style is very simple but yet very effective. Appreciate that, Don. Thank you. How do you guys think the video quality is for this video? 1080p? Are we looking good? You guys can see. Look, I'm growing a mustache. Finally, shoot, 24 years. Yeah, Michelle, 100%. So this takes a lot of time, so much to learn. And the thing that I want you guys to know is that I've been doing this for years, and every single day as I'm working with my TechBuds group, as I'm working with my Learn Plan Profit group, I'm always reminded and learning new things, because the whole point of trading is, and I've said this so many times, and I think this is why our group is growing at such a rapid pace, is because we empower people to not just learn from my YouTube channel. We understand that there is not one specific strategy that will help you be successful 100%. Just like if I were to create, like you guys know that, you guys have seen me on Instagram, I drive nice cars. I can drive pretty fast, right? Just because I know how to drive does not mean that if I create a course on how to drive a car fast, that everyone will never, let's say they've never stood behind a steering wheel, are going to be able to drive that fast right away. It's going to take time. It's experience, it's practice to get to a point where you have the confidence and the reassurance that you can do this. Same thing when it comes down to trading, but now it's even that much more difficult because it's a series of like strategies and best practices that I really think that we need to work on. And it's just like Don said, right? It's the very simple things in life that are very difficult for the masses. So just remind yourself that. I want you guys to absolutely kill it this 2019. I want you guys to set realistic goals. I want you to, start your business, whatever it is that you guys want to do, start investing in the stock market. But I need you guys to know that it's going to take time. Be empowered to learn new things. And if you're not someone that has the time nor is willing to dedicate the effort, then I do apologize, but it might just take you a little bit longer. And if you're okay with that, 100%. But if you just don't want to dedicate time and you have the money and you think that you can just make it or break it, I have not seen it happen like that. And again, just in my experience, I just want to be completely honest with you guys. We work with our group within Learn, Plan, Profit and TechBot Solutions every single day. If you're part of Learn, Plan, Profit, which is the second link in the description, you get to watch me trade live every single day. So not only do you see me buy and sell stocks, but on top of that, you get to ask me questions in real time, and I share my thought process as I'm buying and as I'm selling. Today, we had an amazing live stream, and it was just very effective for our members to be able to see exactly why I'm locking in profits and exactly why I'm buying. And again, we have the whole course, which you have access for a lifetime, that allows you to understand the basics in which that you can build off of. We want to empower you to cherry pick the best practices that you see of value from me, and also to develop your own. We're all wired in different ways, and you all have to understand that. You need to know that you're going to be doing like this self-development as you learn how to trade. It might seem like a lot of work, but again, it's a true blessing to be able to make money by investing money. So what is it that you're going to do this 2019 to get to that point where you can actually live that type of like blessed life? It's as simple as that. Like, we invest money and we make money. Like, that is, in my opinion, a great position to be in. So I want to remind you, like, again, it's not going to come easy. And if you think it is, wish you the best of luck. But most importantly, I just want to remind you and slap you back into place, and make sure that you kickstart 2019 with the right head on your shoulder. So again, thank you guys again so much for absolutely everything it is that you guys do. I hope that I earned your thumbs up in this video. If you guys want to stay connected, again, our free Facebook group for TechBot Solutions is that first link in the description. If you guys want to join Learn, Plan, Profit and watch me trade live every single day, dedicate 5 minutes, click that second link in the description, and kind of go and learn a little bit more about that. So let's see. Practice, learn, practice. I like that, Michelle. Thank you. I hope you absolutely killed it today. Let's see. Work your question to your strategy. What if I buy a position and it goes down and I invest double previous amounts every 10%? Okay, that's averaging down. That's not necessarily an approach that I have. I don't ever empower people to try to like average down to lower their average purchase price. Again, the easiest way that I can put this is, if an investment is losing you money, does it make sense to add more money to that investment? No. But if an investment is making you money, wouldn't you feel confident, I mean the average person, to add more money to that investment to make more, right? So you want to invest in patterns that are showing signs of growth, and you want to invest in investments that are actually making you money. So I think it's a different way of thinking, and I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that newer traders make, is that they add to their position as something is selling off. It goes into bag holding. You're trying to lower your average purchase price. And if the pattern and the direction just are not in your favor, you have to accept that and make sure that you have a max loss in mind. But again, I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. I hope you guys absolutely kill it this week. Continue working hard, continue following your dreams, let your passion be what drives your success. Be sure to stay up to date and follow the TechBuds team, Caleb and Weston. Be sure to follow us down below. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.